welcome to this very special day. On behalf of the Field Office Director of the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, Albuquerque Field Office, Mr. Jesse Mendez, I'd like to welcome you all to today's ceremony. Now please stand for the posting of the national colors by the Enchanted Hills Young Marines, and the national anthem will be played by almost 9th grader Dominic Durkin.
Ladies and colors. Cut. Hello. Please. Forward. March. Got it.
All right, you may be seated. And thank you again to the Enchanted Hills Young Marines and Dominic Durkin for that. Before we continue, I'd like to recognize our distinguished guests and thank them for their support of this event. I would like to thank Master Sergeant. Ready? I practiced your name, so I'm going to get this one right. Fofo mai tulagi tulifua tuitele. All right. Who is a native of American Samoa and who became the naturalized U.S. citizen 2 years ago on March 2016. He received the Bronze Star with a Combat V for Valor during his actions in the Mayaguez incident, known as the Last Battle of Vietnam. Thank you, Master Sergeant, for coming today, and I'd like to welcome you home, and thank you for your service, sir. And I'd also like to thank Mayor Tim Keller and his wife for being a part of this event as well. All right. In June of 1977, Representatives Horton of New York and Mineta of California introduced a House resolution to proclaim the first 10 days of May as Asian Pacific Heritage Week. The following month, Senators Inouye and Matsunaga from Hawaii introduced a similar bill in the Senate. Both were passed on October 5th of 1978. President Carter signed a joint resolution designating the annual celebration. In 1990, George H.W. Bush, the first one, signed the bill passed by Congress to extend the week-long celebration to a month. In 1992, the official designation of May as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month was signed into law. The month of May was chosen to commemorate the immigration of the first Japanese to the United States on May 7th, 1843, and to mark the anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad on May 10th, 1869. The majority of the workers who laid the tracks were Chinese immigrants. Today's naturalization ceremony is in honor of the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, honoring those Asian Pacific Americans, past and present, who were woven into and have become an integral part of the fabric of our nation. Now, I'm going to cut my part short because I'd rather you hear from them than from me. So the road to citizenship for many comes on the day that they're born. For others, it takes a while to achieve. All immigrants must first apply and be granted the status of lawful permanent resident, and not all who apply for this status are granted. Most lawful permanent residents must then wait at least 5 years to be eligible for naturalization. For those married to U.S. citizens, the wait is shortened to 3 years. And the path is shortened greatly for those who have chosen to join the military, serve with honor, and defend a country that they're not even a citizen of. Once they have met the residence requirements, they can apply for naturalization and become a citizen of the United States. On the day of their interview, they must be able to speak or demonstrate knowledge of the English language, which apparently I don't have, including reading and writing, unless exempt. They must also be able to demonstrate knowledge of our country's history and government. They must be able to prove that they're of good moral character and subscribe to the principles of the Constitution. Once they've met these requirements, they become eligible for naturalization and become a United States citizen. Ms. Puchetti, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services is pleased to present 70 applicants for U.S. citizenship representing 22 countries. Applicants, as the name of your country is called, please stand to be recognized and then be seated. Australia. Brazil. Cameroon. Canada. People's Republic of China. Cuba. Germany. Guatemala. Haiti. India. Iran. Kenya. South Korea. Mexico. Peru. The Philippines. Russia. Sweden. Thailand. Venezuela. Vietnam. And last but not least, Yemen. Ms. Puchetti, each applicant has been examined by a designated adjudications officer and has exhibited sufficient knowledge of the English language unless exempt. They have been found to be of good moral character, subscribing to the principles of the Constitution, and well disposed to the good order and happiness of the United States. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services is pleased to announce that upon taking the oath of allegiance, these applicants will become the newest citizens of the United States of America. At this time, I would like to introduce Supervisory Immigration and Services Officer, Ms. Jackie Puchetti. Ms. Puchetti, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. It's my honor and pleasure to be here to administer the oath to you. It's time to take out your little flags. For those of you who have a program, you can follow along for the oath of allegiance. I would ask, just do a little PSA. Our office has recently moved. We used to be by the airport, now we're by REI and Costco, in case for those of you that need to visit us. Our director, Jesse Mendez, is on a business trip, so I'm here representing him, and I'm ready to administer the oath if you're ready to take it. So will the candidates please stand and raise your right hand? Please repeat after me, and I want to hear you, please. I hereby declare, on oath, that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state or sovereignty, of whom or which I have theretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Congratulations.
Please stand and join our new citizens and Mr. Dominic Durkin as he leads them in the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to introduce, oh, I'm sorry, you can be seated. Now I'd like to introduce the mayor of the city of Albuquerque, Mayor Tim Keller. Sir, the stage is yours.
Well, welcome to our city's newest citizens. Congratulations. I want to just acknowledge our immigration services for the work they do to make this a reality, and Jackie for your work, and Anthony, I appreciate it. I have been a state senator and a state auditor, and I've always wanted to come here and share one of these moments with our new citizens, and so I'm especially happy to be here today. Also, very special to have our First Lady, Elizabeth Kisten Keller, here with us, too. And for us, naturalization is actually part of our family, too. We're very lucky to have a brother-in-law who naturalized a couple of years ago from Honduras. And so we share, in many ways, part of this celebration with each of you today. Now, of course, today is a day that marks a new beginning for many of you, a proud day that will stand out in your memory. And for you, you've all come from different backgrounds, from different countries, and you are all committing to the promise of our country, to a belief in a reality in that notion of the American dream. In our city as well, we have our own version of that. I believe Albuquerque is a city that is inclusive. We are a city that above all has a history of being a multicultural role model for the rest of the country. It's something that I'm very proud of as our mayor. It's something that I believe is fundamental to who we are in this city. We are a city that is returning to this core narrative in so many ways. The notion of being one Albuquerque, regardless of how you got here, how long you've been here. It's the idea that we're coming together to solve some of our biggest challenges, regardless of our own personal backgrounds. But it also means that we celebrate our own personal backgrounds, that we celebrate our diversity. We celebrate whether you've been here since time immemorial, whether you've been here for 400 years, or whether you are officially a citizen today. This is all part of one Albuquerque. And of course, as everyone is reminding each other today, we are a country of immigrants. We are a country that says you are a citizen and it doesn't matter how you got here or when you got here. We are a country that acknowledges that you had many, many paths to get here. Some of you through deep, tremendous hardship. Some of you fleeing areas that were war-torn or through the refugee program. Some of you that came on your own with your own families. Some of you that came as part of a broader experience, either from your hometown or from your family. But I know this, today you are not alone. You are with each other. Many of you are with family. Some of you are not. But we are here together as one community to support you as part of Albuquerque and part of America. And so I really just want to leave you, I think, with this. Despite our differences, and in fact, because of our differences and because of the fact that America is built on what we are celebrating here today. Today, we are America. In this room, we are America, and I'm so pleased to be here with you. Congratulations to all of you and your families. We support you, and we celebrate you on this occasion. Thank you so much.
Now I'd like sorry. Now I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, United States Marine Master Sergeant Fofomai Tulagi Tulifua Tuitele. Is that better? I think so. All right. Master Sergeant Tuitele was born in a place in the middle of the Pacific Ocean called American Samoa. And Master Sergeant Tuitele is a decorated Vietnam veteran who was involved in the Mayaguez incident, known as the last armed conflict of Vietnam. 2 years ago, on March 3rd, 2016, Master Sergeant Tuitele went through the same process as all of you and became a naturalized United States citizen. So I'd like to welcome my brother to the stage.
Mr. Mayor, where's he at? Is he done? UA? Okay. Man from Immigration. Good afternoon. I am honored to be here in the company of the newest citizens of the United States. It was not long ago that I was in your shoes, so I know that it takes a great deal of courage to move to another country and to make a new life. It takes a great deal of effort to move great distance to restart your lives in a foreign land and a foreign culture. This says a lot about your determination to become a part of your chosen country. It is not easy to accomplish all of this while raising or caring for a family. It is hard work. Working even harder towards citizenship shows a commitment to joining and supporting your new home. The U.S. have a lot to offer its citizens, but you as well have a lot to offer to your community and to the country. You have the opportunity to be instrumental in improving your community through voting, serving in the military, go Marine, through volunteering by getting involved in local politics. You are the voices that constitute the backbone of a representative government. You have earned that right. At the same time, never forget where you came from. Be proud of who you are. Embrace your culture and your custom. Show them with your neighbors. That's why I'm wearing my dress today, but we call it lava lava. Diversity makes us stronger. It does not divide us. It teaches us about richness of life, the goodness of people everywhere. I congratulate and welcome today for you all for becoming part of this great country. Thank you.
All right, and I would like to mention that I also served in the Marine Corps, and Master Sergeant Tuitele and I served not at the same time, but with the same exact unit, so he is definitely my brother. So again, thank you, Marine, and Semper Fidelis. Next, we have a special presentation. I'm sorry. We have something that we would like to recognize our guest speaker with, a small gift from the Marine Corps League of Rio Rancho, which is the Lance Corporal Addersberger, Detachment 1316. And this is our Commandant, Bill DeRock. Sorry, I almost forgot. Bill DeRock. All right, so the citation states, Certificate of Appreciation presented to... It's presented to Master Sergeant Fofomai Tulifua Tuitele on behalf of the Marine Corps League, Department of New Mexico, for your selfless support and dedication to others. You reflect heroism both on and off the battlefield, and with your volunteerism and sacrifices, as you continue to give to others, your unselfish devotion and dedication to the community reflect great credit and are in the keeping of the highest traditions of the Marine Corps League and the United States Naval Service. Presented on this 30th day of May, 2018, Department Commandant Charles Walters and Department Commandant William DeRock. Semper Fi, Marine. All right, Semper Fi, Marine, and thank you again for your service. Welcome home, brother. Next, we have a special presentation for you by the Kala Kapu Polynesian Dance School. Miss Kelly, the stage is yours.
Kia ora, aloha, yaurana. I'm Kelly from Kapu Polynesian Dance School. We've been perpetuating the Polynesian culture in Albuquerque for 5 years now. We're going to bring a little presentation for you. We're going to start with a haka, or a war cry, from Aotearoa, better known as New Zealand, by the Maori people. Historically, they used the haka before battle to call upon the war god Tumataoinga. Today, you see the haka performed at weddings, funerals, graduations, and ceremonies such as this. I'm sure some of you have seen Blackhawks. They also perform, the rugby team performs haka as well. The haka is used with facial expressions called the pukana. For men, it is stretching out of the tongue and baring teeth, and for women, it's jutting out the chin, and both genders widen their eyes. This was used as intimidation before battle. Now it's just used to help emphasize the point of a haka and symbolizes the emotion fighting through to exit the body. Today we perform an Ingeri haka called Tika Tonu. This song was written by a father to his son in 1875. After seeing his son struggle, as most young adults do, the message in this haka is of challenge, struggle, perseverance, and achievement, which we thought would be fitting for today's celebration. Following the haka will be a number called Hoki Mai Medley, which is used with the Maori poi. This song also talks about perseverance, and the poi is used to symbolize the emotion of struggle and gain. Please enjoy our Maori segment. Kia ora, and thank you again for having us.
Kia ora, ia whakaronga mao. Tii! Ringa e torona, ke waho ti mai. Tika toru, ue! Tika toru, ue! Tika toru atu ki a koe e tama. Hiki ne koe aku whakara pakia. He
Kakavatai, thank you. That is our Maori segment. We're now going to bring you to the island of Hawaii, and we're going to do a modern style hula for you called a hula awana. This song, or mele, is called Ko'uluwehi o Kekai. And it talks about how the sea, different types of seaweed live in the ocean and get washed ashore. So they have different smells, they have different textures, and just look differently. So the kauna, or the behind meaning, is actually referring to different women that come into your life. So please enjoy our next song, Ko'uluwehi o Kekai. Mahalo nui loa. We're going to bring one more hula number for you. This is called Ku'ulula'au. And it talks about the mythological story of Ku'ulula'au, who was the son of Chief Maui, who was chief of Maui. He was known for being very mischievous and kind of causing a ruckus on the island. So his dad banished him to the island of Lanai, which was the ghost island, and said, you know, you think you're so funny, how about you go and try to defeat the ghost and see how well you do there. So he said, if you end up beating all the ghosts, then I will bring you back to Maui so you can rule. So one by one, He got rid of each ghost by tossing him over the cliff and throwing a rock. We don't know how he killed the ghost, but he managed. So his dad found out about it, brought him back to Maui where he became ruler. So enjoy Ka'ulula'au. Mahalo, thank you. So our next number, we're going to bring on our Kane dancers, which is our male dancers, Jason and Alan. They're going to do a song for you called Mele o Lanai. So I just finished talking about Lanai being a ghost island. Actually, it's not very beautiful, has a lot of residents. So this one is talking about admiration and the uniqueness that the island of Lanai has.
Keller.
Mahalo nui loa, that was our last number from the island of Hawaii. Now we're gonna bring you to the island of Tahiti, where the story is told with your hips. We are going to do a ote'a number for you. So this was actually the first ote'a number that I choreographed for my students 5 years ago, so I thought I'd bring it back. It's a celebratory ote'a where you wear full traditional costume, and we thought that we would honor this, or we would give this number to you as a congratulations. Again, this is our last number, and mahalo maururu whakawhatai for having us, and thank you again for inviting us to perform today. Mahalo and aloha.